Hey guys, welcome back. I'm behind the camera. I thought I would try and do a little video for you on these little peachy, feathery resin pours that I've been doing. They all come out a little bit differently depending on how much of everything you're using. This one's a lot more feathery. This one's less feathery. The green was heavier, so it's sunk. But you get these really cute little effects in there. Love these colours. I'm going to do these colours again today, but with some orange. So the purple there was heavier. It's kind of dropped more, and the yellow hasn't dropped. So yeah, look, I'm still learning. Don't expect miracles from me today, but I thought I'd just pop up a little video and we'll see how we're going to go. I've got a 13 centimetre coaster there, coaster mould, and I'm going to pour my resin in. I'm not sure how much to use. I just made up the same amount that I use when I'm doing my 3D flowers. So I did 85 grams of part A and 40 grams of part B. I'm using the Platinum Super Clear. Let's wipe off my little stick. So that's what I've got in there. In here I've got a little bit of resin, just a little bit, not much, probably maybe a quarter full. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, you can use alcohol inks, like pre-made alcohol inks, you know, like your pinata, and then you drop your white on top and it goes down and it makes these sort of pretty little sea anemone effects. But I'm going to make my own today, so I'm going to use pigment paste and I'm going to use alcohol. This is 100% isopropyl alcohol. I've just popped it in there. I've got my pigment paste sitting here in a warm water bath because they can go a bit thick, and I've just put them in squeeze bottles. So I'm going to go yellow, orange, pink and purple. So let's get started. Let's see if it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is, so put the pigment paste in, and then I'm going to add a drop of white. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, buckle my shoe, and I'm going to add just one little drop. I can get it out. There we go. 1 drop of white pigment paste, and the orange. 1, 2. Some of the colours with anything really, same as acrylic pouring, some colours are thicker than the others, so you're going to get a different effect. And I don't even know if this is going to work. I've only been doing it, well, I've been trying to do it on and off for like a few months, and then I give up for a while, and then I have another try, and then I give up for a while, and then, but I'm having another try now, so we shall see. Okay, the pink, 1, oops, 2, you're very runny, pink. I'm not sure how much that was. And my purple, I'll move the water bath now before I spill something in it. Yeah, some of the colours are just thinner than others. Purple seems to be a bit thicker, even though it's been sitting in a water bath. One. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Alright, we'll give them a stir up. And then I'm going to add the alcohol. So depending on which pigment pastes you're using, you know, you'll get a different effect. But you don't have to go to this trouble. You can just use the ready-made inks, like I said. And there's lots of videos. You just have to search Feathery, Resin Feathery dish or Feathery pour. It'll come up. I just wanted the orange a little bit lighter. Pop that white in it too. And the white, of course, will help your colours to sink to the bottom. Put a tiny little bit of white in here. See if I can get a tiny bit out. And a little bit for you. Okay. Right, so now they've got their white in them. That'll help them sink. So when it comes to adding the alcohol, to turn them into alcohol inks, and you know how runny an alcohol ink is, don't you? If you've ever used alcohol inks, you know how runny they are. Aren't they looking pretty? So it's just a matter of trial and error. It depends how much resin you've got in your little cup, depends how much pigment you've got in your cup, as to how much alcohol you're going to use. Some drops of pigment paste might be bigger than other drops. Like, it's quite scientific, and you just have to practice, really. Practice, practice, practice. There's no set recipe that I can give you. You just have to do trial and error, like I've been doing. I've been doing like 2 a day for the last week, trying to get it right. When I do get it right, kind of right anyway, I'll put up a photo. But I don't think there's been one in particular that I've been 100% happy with. Now I'm just going to drop my alcohol in. I'm going to start with just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I put them in the squeeze in this little nozzle bottle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because this is a spray. I guess you could just like spray in. I don't know how many sprays you would need to do. Let me just mix those up and check the consistency. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Added a few more drops of alcohol, give them a good stir. I forgot to put resin in my test piece. I always like to do a test piece before I pour. I'm just going to use this little pendant here, and I'm going to have to pinch some out of my mold. Yeah, I just like to do a test piece because you don't want to waste everything if it's not going to work. So, and I think that's probably a good idea if you do it as well. Do one little test piece. I think it's good to start on the little pendant molds first, like this, just until you've got your recipe worked out. And with any recipe, try and write down what you do. That's what I'm doing. I'm writing down everything. Every time I do one of these pours, I'm writing down what I did. Sometimes I'm videoing them for myself, and then I can look back on it and go, okay, well, that didn't work, and you know, I had to add more alcohol to this one, or I had to add less paste to that one. Until you've got it the way you want it. Because, you know, I showed you those ones at the beginning. Some are more feathery and wavy, and then some are just really like cute little dotties that stick to the top. So depending on what you like. So let's just try first. I'm just going to put just a little drop of purple in. And a drop of pink. Purple sinking. orange is good, it's spreading. And the yellow, actually orange is spreading too much. But look at the purple, look how it's sunk. So that's no good. So we can't use that. Oops, there's a bit of resin in there. Now the orange, it looks as if it's spreading too much. So I'm going to add another drop of orange pigment paste to get it to drop more. The pink looks as if it's spreading a little bit too much as well, so I'm going to add a drop of pink. So this is what I mean, you just have to test it. There's no particular one recipe. Now that purple's sunk, see how it's sunk? So, might just pour a little bit of that out and scoop up a bit of resin, put back in there. I just think it's going to be too heavy for it to work. And then I'm going to add some more alcohol. The alcohol tends to make it lighter and it's going to float to the top. So it just sunk there. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. Make sure you close your little nozzle there because it's alcohol, it's going to evaporate. Now how's everything looking? So do your little test piece first. There's no point doing the whole mold and then, you know, it doesn't work. So test it first. Let's see if that's any better. Little blob of purple. Now this is the one we added more pigment to. See what that's going to do. And we added more pigment to this one as well. I don't think I did anything to the yellow, did I? Oops, dropped. Alright, now let's just watch those for a minute and see what they do. Oh, I think the pink's too heavy now. It can be so frustrating, I tell you. Now it looks as if the pink's sinking. 1, 2, 3. It's adding 3 drops of alcohol to the pink. Probably should have just left it the way it was. Let's see what that's going to do. The orange is looking better. The yellow's looking good. Let's see what the pink's going to do. And what's the purple doing? The purple's kind of spread across the top. I don't know if you can see down there, that purple's sunk, this one's still sitting on top. Probably shouldn't have added that extra blob of pink, because now my pink's sinking. Look, you may get colours that sink and then other colours will kind of float on top, and I guess it just helps with that 3D look because some are high, some are low. So yeah, it's just different. Every time it's going to be different. And that's still sinking. I shouldn't have added that extra blob of pink. I wonder if I can put a little bit more resin into you just to help dilute you a little bit. I don't know whether that'll work or not. I've never tried that, but we'll try it. So it increases the resin ratio to pigment. So look, this is not, as far as I know, as far as I've been able to tell, it's not an easy thing to do. You know, I've been practicing, trying to teach myself for the last few months, but only really getting back into it in the last in the last week or so. Happy with these two. These two I'm just checking still. All right, I think we're going to leave it at that. Make sure we're still taping. Yep. All right, so here we go. How are they doing? Is the pink doing better? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean off that stick. Clean off the sticks because I'm going to use my little teaspoon just to drop things in. And I'll just wipe these because I can use my sticks again, and I use my little cups again as well. I did get fresh cups for you just for today, but there's my cups. I just wiped them out. But I thought, since I'm doing a video, I'll use clean cups so you don't think I'm a grot. But I am using them again. All right, here we go. Let's just do this. Start with the yellow, and I'm going to fill up my little spoon, this little tiny teaspoon, and I'm just going to do some little drops. So I'm getting like 5 little drops out of a baby teaspoon. Try not to put too much in. I think those first few had a little bit too much. And I'm getting pretty close to the surface, like I'm not dropping them from up high. Not quite sure how much to put in there. Might just use it all. Oh, there's a tiny bit left. Okay, now I need to wipe my little spoon. And do the next colour. Some orange. How are these going? They look okay. The purple's dropping a little bit still, but not too bad. But see, that's why you do that little test piece, okay? I think it's important before you go ahead and do a big piece. If your test piece works, then great, you've got a pendant as well. But I've been doing all the pendants so far. I haven't done a big coaster yet. Well, I have, but none of them have worked because I'm still learning my recipe. This will be my first attempt at a big one, so don't be too hard on me if it doesn't work, will you? I'm trying. Okay, next colour. And also don't fill your mould too much, because when you add these in, it's going to lift the height of your resin. I'm still a bit worried about these. 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know, might have put too much in now. So hopefully the colours that I put in the mould there will sort of spread a little bit. So it's similar to doing the 3D design, where the 3D flower, where the resin moves and pulls your pigment in, and it is important, as in the 3D flower, same as this, to have your white. So grab some pigment pastes, whatever you've got, add some white pigment paste, again whatever you've got, and just try it. I'm going to be trying a few different pigment pastes and to see what works. Whoops, that one was a bit big. I'm not using all my colour just yet. I want to see that I've got enough room for all of them first before I go adding any more dots. And because they grow, oh look, now this one's got too much alcohol. Look what it's doing. It's got too much alcohol now. Oh, can't win, can you? Okay, I'm not going to put any more paste in. I'm just going to keep going. Might have just been because it was a bigger blob, I don't know. So the alcohol changes the consistency. This one's had a lot of alcohol. It's a drunken blob. No, it's had a lot of alcohol, so it's probably a little bit thinner than the others. Now have a look at the yellow dots. They went in first, so they've actually spread more. trying not to make my dots too big. Too much paste and it'll fall through, so keep your blobs not too big. Yeah, they will spread. Just yeah, don't make them too big and too heavy to begin with, otherwise they'll just fall straight through. You want them just sort of sitting on top for now. Over time they will sink down. You can put a couple of blobs sort of on top of each other. They can overlap a little bit if you want them to. Where else do we need some purple? There's no purple there. I'm scraping the bottom of this one. So I've pretty much used all of that now. Let's make that one a little bit bigger, because these last ones only had a tiny bit in them. Okay, so that one's done. We have emptied that little cup. What else? Now the pink. Pink hasn't done a lot, has it? I've got a tiny little bit of pink left here. I'm going to add just a drop of alcohol to it, just because I've got a tiny bit left. The pink blobs don't seem to spread as much as the yellow and the orange did, hey? Let me make sure we're still taping. I'm not talking to myself. Yep. Okay, let's do a tiny little bit more of the pink because I've got a little bit left. Let's fill in some gaps. But yeah, try not to fill in the whole space, because it can get a little bit too pigment heavy. Right, so that one's empty. And then when I'm done, I just wipe them out with the paper towel, and then I can use them again tomorrow when they've dried. Okay, might do a little bit more on the edges now that it's all kind of pulled in a bit. I wouldn't mind using up the rest of this. It's only a few drops. You know how resin pulls from the outside in, makes those pretty patterns. So I'm going to wait for a while now. Like, I haven't waited for my resin to set up or anything. Well, I waited. Oh, you know, you saw I waited a little bit while I mixed all my colours and things, but I don't specifically wait for my resin to thicken up or anything. But we will wait now for a little while. Maybe anywhere from, say, 45 minutes to an hour and a quarter. And again, that will be determined by your brand of resin. So don't just go, oh, Julie said 45 minutes. My resin takes about 45 minutes to start setting up. It's got a 45-minute work time, this platinum super coat. So you'll just have to see what your resin's got. If your resin's got a longer work time or pot life, then you'll need to wait longer until it gets to that sort of sticky, tacky stage. You know what I mean? You know that stage? Anyway, there we go. I'm done. Woohoo! Okay. Gosh, I hope it works. I hope it works. I hope it works. So I'm just going to use my bit of paper towel there to clean out that cup while I've got it. And I can chuck that one. There we go. That'll be ready for tomorrow's use. I do go through a lot of paper towel, but it's better than going through a lot of these. Okay, so I'm going to give it a little quick torch. So let's have a look, see what it's doing. And you can see that the yellow is probably the biggest. So again, the yellow I find doesn't drop very well for me. And because it's spread like that, I can already see that it's not really going to drop very much. It's going to stay on top, more like this little guy did. Anyway, you probably can't see it. So the yellow and the orange may not drop as much, the purple and the pink may drop more. So again, we'll get this 3D look of some being higher, some being lower, because obviously when we turn it out, it's going to be upside down. So the bits on the top now are going to be the bottom, and we want them to look as if they're floating up or rising. But yeah, I don't know. The colours that float more don't drop, and you don't get as much of that 3D look. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Oh no, this was the one. This was the one. See, the yellow didn't really... can't see there. Autofocus. Autofocus. Come on. Oh, see, I've got powder on my hands from the glove. It's not going to work. Nope. If I do... Oh, there we go. I just have to touch the screen. Now, you can see what I mean after I've done that. See the yellow? See, it's only got these tiny little kind of blobs, because underneath the yellow floated on top, whereas the bluey green color, it sank, and you can see how it's kind of sunk and touching the bottom. So, but if you like that look, then that's okay. My dark blue there, it didn't do much at all. It just sat there. Yeah. The pink's alright. The pink kind of worked. It's just that turquoise blue that was a bit heavy. So anyway, we'll see what we get. They're all going to be individual. They're all going to be unique. They're all going to be beautiful, regardless, aren't they? Yes. Okay. Except for you. You're a bit blobby. Can you see? Oh, you probably can't see now. I'm moving it. See how the purple's dropped? I made it too heavy. And the yellow's floating on top. So anyway, that's the difference. So trial and error. I'm going to come back, it was 2:15 now. I'm going to come back at 3 o'clock. That'll be 45 minutes from now. And give it a swirl with a toothpick. And hopefully we'll get some movement happening. So I'll see you then. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes. It's 3 o'clock. Now I can see quite a few blobbies. Let's see if I can maybe move it closer. Oh, that's hot. Squeak, squeak. Put you on autofocus. I can see some blobbies down there. The pink, the purple. But look, that's okay. The other ones, where is it? That one, as I was showing you earlier. The pink has dropped down there. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be amazing. Now you kind of need to. Oops, we're off focus again. You kind of need to just. I'll see if I can show you first what I mean about when you know it's time. Just pick up a little bit of the top and see how you get that little stringy bit. So for me, oops, I just broke my stick. For me, that's ready. Probably left it a little bit too long. My video took longer than I was planning, I guess. Now it's just a matter of swirling. It does feel a little bit thick, but look, some people I know, and me including, I have actually left this for, I think 1 hour and 10 was the longest I left it. Swap that. So there we go. That's the feathering, swirling effect. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens now. It's really hot, that piece of board behind there. Now the other thing that you need to do, and this is important, because we've just swirled, it's created some air, so you do tend to get some bubbles afterwards, after swirling. So just come back and check it in 5 minutes. Don't just walk away and go, it's done, until tomorrow. Come back in 5 minutes and see if there's been any bubbles, because there may have been some come up. Why won't you focus? The joys of videoing. So the top's basically all covered. And look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, it doesn't know what to focus on. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it doesn't know what to focus on. There's too much going on. Anyway, you can see, if I can point to them, these, see those bits there where I've pulled the stick through? Those tend to be really, really pretty, like stems of feathers. Anyway, hoping it works. I hope so. There's another one down there, look, down here. See this pretty little effect here that you've pulled the colour through? So yeah, I don't know if it's going to work or not. We shall see. Hope it does. Hope for your sake it works. Wish me luck. I'll see you tomorrow morning and we'll unmold this baby. I wonder if we can actually see anything going on down the sides yet. Sometimes you can tell. It's a bit hard to, again, I can't focus. It's really hard to see. Sometimes you can see down the side. It doesn't want to focus, sorry. No, it's not going to do it. It says, nope, I don't know what to focus on. Can you see down the side, inside the sides of the mold? You can kind of see that the colours drop down, because you know how it was all floating on top, but you can, I don't know if you can actually make it out, but you can see the shadows there of the colour. So, yay! Something's dropped. Hopefully it won't be too blobby on the bottom, but something has dropped. Something's going on. So, yeah, cross your fingers for me. I'll see you in the morning. I'm back. It's the evening, it's 7 p.m. But I really want to get these out. I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's try. Oh, I didn't show you, but I swirled this one as well. Only because, like, if for some reason your mix was a bit thick, like heavy, like this one was, and it dropped, like, it can still make a very pretty piece. Put you back on autofocus. I'll show you one, my very early one. Now this was, that's the top, and you can see all the colours. Now that's the bottom. See how blobby it is? The colours just dropped straight to the bottom. So this is one of my very early ones where I was experimenting. There's a bubble there, but that's what the back looked like, because the colours just dropped straight down, way too heavy. But isn't the top really pretty? Like, you could still use that. It looks like, you know, when they pull candy and they make those stripes and then they kind of roll it up. So it's still pretty, and you've got that little bit of transparency through. So don't think that it's a failure. Like, if you try and your mix is a bit thick, just use the front. It's still going to be pretty. Oops, it's quite soft still. Oh. Okay, so there it is. That's the top. So I'm expecting blobs on the back, same as that other one I just showed you. There they are, there's the blobs. But we're getting a little bit, look at the yellow. The yellow's worked. So you're getting that little 3D effect there. And then obviously over here, the purple was too thick, or too heavy, I should say, and it's blobbed straight down. But I think if you're starting and you're getting this and you go, okay, well, that's the correct one, and then this is too heavy. So that's something to work on anyway. Gee, it's soft. Maybe I shouldn't take the other one out. It's probably a little bit thicker, so it'll probably set better because it's thicker. Feels set. Should we do it? Can't really see through the sides. This is a much thicker mold than than this is. You can see through the sides on this if it's dropped or not. I think I can see a little bit of droppage, and it's not just the reflection of the top. Hope so. I mean, I can see some blobs there. See that purple there? It's blobbed, it's dropped down. So I don't know whether maybe I wasn't concentrating because I was doing a video, you know, and everyone's watching, making me nervous. But let's hope it works. Okay, so now let's have a look at won't look at the bottom just yet, but look at the side. Okay. So it looks as if it's being quite heavy. The colours have dropped. So it may end up looking more like this one that had a lot of droppage. Still really pretty though, but just a different effect. Oh, I don't want to look. What if it's all blobby and I hate it? Okay, are we ready? 1, 2. Let me move these out of the way so it doesn't focus on them. Oh, I know, I'm mean, I know. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, oh, that's actually really pretty. We've only got, let me have a look at it over the top of the camera. Oh, wow. Okay. No, I'm happy with that. Have got a few blobs, which I expected. They look like mushrooms. But if you have a look at the yellow did really well actually. Look at the yellow and that orange, kind of looks like salmon. Look at the pink, where it's dropped down and it's touched the bottom of the mold. It's got like these cute little, where am I? Cute little patterns. It looks like something out of Avatar, like those weird plants. Or something maybe under the ocean, coral and things. Let's have a look at it. Alright, so look, it's not 100% because, you know, of the blobbies. These, where am I pointing? See the little blobs there, the little pink ones? See, I don't mind those. It's just these big blobs that I do mind. I think kind of spoil it. But then when you look over here at the little blobs of the purple, I don't mind those either. It's just, you know, the big pink blob. That might have been, maybe I dropped too much in. Maybe I need to drop a bit less, make smaller drops. But what do you think? Well, hopefully you guys have learnt something. And like I said, I'm still learning as well. We've got a bit of transparency there. I'm still learning as well. But I do think that maybe my pink and my purple was a little bit heavy. So that's the top. See, there's more yellow. There's more yellow and more orange. It's kind of floated across the top. The pink and the purple, they're more in like stripes, so they've kind of sunk more. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look at it and you go, yeah, there's much more yellow on top there. So the yellow stayed on top, but it's made those gorgeous little, I'm just babbling now, aren't I? It's just so pretty. It's made those gorgeous little things. I don't even know what they're called. What should we call these things? Oops, I'm not on autofocus anymore. Go back on autofocus, please. What do you call those? It's just amazing. Like I could look at it forever, for hours. And I'm so glad I did a big one. Oh. All right, I better leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll still keep practicing. Do these colours again. Maybe I'll do blues and greens and then it can look like, maybe, oh, blue, green and yellow. How about that? That'd be look like an undersea undersea little playground. So pretty. Happy with it? Do you love it? Let me know in the comments what you think of it and whether or not these big blobs bother you. I don't know. I'll go and sit down and look at it for a while and see what I think of it. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you appreciate the video, my time and effort in putting this together for you. If I've helped you anyway, please feel free to donate. My little PayPal link is down below as well. I certainly would appreciate it. I can go and buy some more resin and keep working on this and help you guys too. We can help each other, hey? All right. Love you all. Take care. Bye for now.